Surprise, it's Ultraman Max. He'll team up with Ginga and Victory.
Spoilers.
I like the fact that it just occurred to me. It still feels weird. The chorus for Ultraman X, Kamen Rider Drive, sound very similar. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
I
It's
suppose.
weird. Yeah, it's crazy. And they came out the same year too. It's like
Kind of.
it's like Ants and Bugs Life.
Yep.
Or Hercules and Legend of Hercules. Okay, that one's a lot more blatant. Oh man, I still can't get over the fact that there's two Hercules movies that came out the same year, and there's four Pinocchio media that came out the same year.
Skitty.
Skitty, Father, I want to be directed by Guillermo del Toro. Well, I'm sorry, but you have been reduced to a JoJo reference.
Super Sentai and JoJo needs to have a pose off.
Yeah, no, I mean, JoJo's gonna win, no question about it, because there's more variety in their poses.
I guess.
Yeah. No, like one thing I like about both JoJo and Sailor Moon is that a lot of the attire is based off of fashion magazines, such as Gucci, Versace, Abercrombie and Fitch. What else is there? Kors, Calvin Klein. Yeah, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so what are we here to talk about? We are here to talk about Ultraman X. Lots of red and silver and blue in this team.
Wait, is this the Space Sheriffs?
Yeah, like it's crazy, man. Yeah, and wow, I feel like I really should have watched Ginga back when we were on lockdown because I have so many questions. Yeah. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. We have met our subscriber goal to discuss the Tubi TV fan film The Last Ranger. Parody 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's called that. Like
and my cat. And if anybody's wondering, it's just my cat in the window over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy because it's like yeah, it's weird that it's even called a parody film because it doesn't look like a parody. It feels like they try to take it a little too seriously, if anything. Like it literally has the word parody in the title. But we will discuss it. Not right now, but later, because you guys earned it. Thanks to you guys, the word has been spread. The subscribe buttons have been clicked. We're at 2.75K, which means, as promised, we met our goal. We're gonna review this movie maybe this weekend or the weekend after, somewhere in that ballpark. But yeah, I still can't get over the fact that that thing exists. Even though we're here to talk about Ultraman, I just needed to get that out of the way because it will bother me the whole time. Did you watch it yet by any chance?
No, I haven't.
I only saw the first 5 minutes. Boy, I cannot wait to watch the remaining 55 minutes. Plus change.
I see.
Yeah.
But here we are to discuss Ultraman X, episodes 11 through 14.
Yes. Where the choreography is actually better
Oh yeah, the fight choreography I thought was fantastic in these episodes.
Oh yeah, like you got X and Victory like doing like this beautiful somersault midair, and it's crazy seeing that like in I don't know what's the proper term. One of those scale sets. Like where you make like a small mountain or like a small city to make the human-sized actors giant in comparison.
Yeah.
I'm impressed you could use this level of acrobatics on that kind of set. It's like a suit actor doing it in the city when the character is like human sized, like say Kamen Rider or the first half of a Power Rangers / Super Sentai episode. Okay, I get that. You have all the wide open space you need for that. But doing it like for a giant character in a kaiju fight, that is impressive.
Yeah,
And
Tsuburaya puts a lot of hard work into those shows.
yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure someone might review, but Kabuto, like in Tiga, Rube, and Blazar and Arc, there were stunts more impressive than that, maybe. But this really caught my eye. It's like, oh, it's like look at this store full of beautiful diamonds, and then you're like distracted looking. It's like, oh my god, they're making a new Ninja Hero 6 movie or whatever. It's like you're more distracted by something that's supposed to be less glamorous, but the thing is, it's much more meaningful to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that somersault is pretty damn meaningful. Second only to doing a beautiful drop kick like that, like the one used in Gav in the previous week's episode. Because, as anyone knows, I love a good drop kick. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so in episode 11, we are introduced to some interesting ideas, mainly involving Gamora.
Yes.
Yeah, so walk us through that.
Well, basically, they're trying to do more tests on Gomora. It's not exactly going very well.
Mhm.
And also, King Joe shows up.
Yep, King Joe, the robot dude, and his body actually splits apart.
Yep, just like in Ultra 7.
Man, I love it when they use like classic Showa monsters, but in a way that's actually creative. And given the changes in technology over time, it's like you could do more with it.
I think Tsuburaya definitely, ever since Ginga, has been like reusing a bunch of Showa kaiju for like the nostalgia factor. But I think it's also a budget thing, which is why it was so refreshing in Blazar when most of the kaiju were brand new.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's really interesting to watch like the reuse. It's like I think a good way to describe it is when you look at Japanese Spider-Man from 1978 versus the 2002 Spider-Man movie. It's like, look at the way they use the web.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the difference in how they use the web. It's really impressive. Or when you compare the 80s Fantastic Four movie versus the 2005 film, it's like, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I actually kind of liked the special effects in the 80s movie, except for Dr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic, but he is a doctor, so I tend to say doctor. But then when you look at the 2005 version of Reed Richards, it's like, yeah, I like practical more than CGI, but the way they use CGI here specifically was just so well done compared to the 80s film. Of course, they had to ruin it with that dance sequence in Silver Surfer, but man, that scene where he's like, when like he slides his hand like underneath the thing, and it's like, shh, whoa, yeah. But it's like the changing of the times. Or heck, look at lightsaber duels in 1977 versus 1999. It's like they Guinness and the suit actor playing Vader, I forgot his name. May he rest in peace. May they both rest in peace. It's like they had to be like really stiff with their saber movements, because they basically had to use like silver rods for the blade, and then they had to basically cell animate the blue and red blades like as the motion captures. Kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Rotoscoping.
I guess.
Yeah. So it's like cut, 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 cut. Now we need a short one. Cut. But because of like the advances in technology, when we got to Phantom Menace, the difference in the choreography is night and day, because they could get away with more, because now the sabers are completely computer generated. That means they have a wider range of motions that the actors can use in the sequences, which means that they can do much more elaborate stunts. Let me tell you, watching Ewan McGregor and Ray Park and Liam Neeson do all that stunt work, and they were doing their own stunts, by the way. It was amazing. It's like, say what you will about how bad the movie was, the lightsaber duel was amazing.
Mm-hmm. It was well choreographed.
Yeah, it's not just two guys just like swing parry, swing parry, swing parry, swing block, swing parry, and then it's like, oh, strike me down. Wait a minute, I didn't finish.
That'll teach you, George Washington.
Get back here! I am your father. No, my father let me go clubbing whenever I want. But here it's like, damn, like we got full kung fu action combined with chambara. And if there's two things I like, it's kung fu and chambara.
So Geki Ranger and Shinkenger?
Absolutely. Put those two things together and you got Star Wars Phantom Menace's fight sequences. Yeah. And yeah. Geki Ranger and Shinkenger were two amazing seasons. Add guns to it, and you got the Bokenger episode 14. Gina got a gun. Yeah, Sakura and her assault rifle. Beautiful. In that tactical outfit. Okay. Yeah, I don't often fawn over characters named Sakura, but Boken Pink is definitely one of the few exceptions. All right. So episode 11. So Daiji is like, oh, we're at 100% electromagnetic synchronicity, but the brain synchronicity is still not syncing up, and it causes a mental strain to his brain, causing him to become hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a darn shame, because he's almost finally able to like materialize Gomora, which, as we've noticed in the last 10 episodes, he's simping for very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we all have that one kaiju that we are the most fond of. Roaring Mound from Ultraman Blazer. But the thing is, it's like, it's cyberized now.
Yeah.
It's got the full 4S treatment. Superhuman Gomora.
Yeah, like some of these episodes kind of make me think of Gridman.
Yeah. It's absolutely so similar to Gridman, even like down to like that giant villain talking to that human-sized Gina, where it's like, I swear that makes me think about Malcolm. and you know, it was Kilo Khan talking to him through a monitor, because you know how like you had that green screen in the cave entrance to make it look like, oh, he's giant and like right in front of her, but it's like, you know, that, you know, it's just green screen. We can tell it's green screen. Yeah, and it's like, oh, look at that. It's like, Gina, why are you copying my data? Well, but you'd say, do you know how much data it took to copy only half of you? I used up 128 floppy disks. It's not like we live in the future where a small terabyte hard drive, kind of like the one right here, has 5 terabytes. Yeah, this is 5 terabytes right here. Man, imagine how many kilocons it takes. Actually, I'm curious. How much memory did a floppy disk have?
I can't say off the top of my head.
Disk space. Let's see. Let's see. 1.44 megabytes. So let's assume that's 2 megabytes times 128. That's going to be 256, and that's half of kilocon. So we have to raise that to 512 megabytes. So 512 megabytes makes 1 kilocon.
I see.
When you put that into perspective, that means kilocon takes up the capacity of a single episode of a present day tokusatsu.
Interesting.
Yeah, which means to have the disk space for an entire season of Bokenger, you could fill it up with 49 kilocons.
Oh gosh. 49 kilocons at once. We are so screwed.
Malcolm. Fight servo. Man, I just can't wait to like do like a thing where it's like Gold Experience Requiem, where he's like, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because it's like, okay, so let's get right to it. So yeah, Daichi resolves, I'm gonna digitize myself. What do you mean you're gonna digitize myself? What is this? Forest Gridman? Excuse me. It's called Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad Gridman.
Combining the adaptation with the source material.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, who do you think you are? Sam Collins? Yes, I am. My father loved me so much. He was willing to dress up as a 70-year-old British woman just to spend time with me before he was killed by the Ultra Wave. Bet you all forgot that Sam Collins was in Mrs. Doubtfire. Along with Matilda. Yeah. I wonder if the older daughter was in anything.
I don't know.
But man, how crazy is that? You got the genie married to Aunt May Parker, and 2 of their kids are Sam Collins and Matilda.
Interesting how that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine they became the Incredibles. It's like, oh, you're a family. Yes, we are. You turn into Gridman. You use telekinesis to distract them. I will use fourth wall manipulation in order to flank him.
Yeah.
What should I do? You don't do anything. call your nephew. He might be able to lay a trap by using his web shooters.
Mm-hmm.
You just work in a hospital or whatever it is you were doing in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
But yeah, King Joe shows up,
Mm-hmm.
and so of course Geo has to go fight against it, and it's whooping X.
Yep. The whole plane goes down, and yeah, X tries to show up in order to like save them, like he always does. But of course, he gets his butt kicked. Even though he's got all those different cyber armors, he just can't keep up with Joe.
King Joe is pretty strong and durable.
Yeah. And he can take himself apart. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. It's pretty cool to watch, really. Consider how bulky his armor is. He's got this whole, like... He's very athletic.
Yeah.
So of course, Daiji tries to like cyberize himself again. Finds himself in this nervous system that looks suspiciously like their satellite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he sees himself in a series of flashbacks that we've already seen for God knows how many times.
Yes. Recap.
Yeah, so apparently the reason why Gamora did not do the brain sync yet is because you don't have the proper motivation to fight. Tale as shown in time.
Yep.
But now, all of a sudden, you do have the motivation. So I will team up with you. It's like, oh my god, I'm living my fan fiction. I get to fight right next to Gomorrah.
Cyber Gomorrah.
Yeah. I mean, he always fantasizes about Gomorrah, but like he just happens to be Cyber this time around. It's like, imagine finally getting to team up with All Might, but the costume he's wearing is from the wrong era of his career. It's like It's like, oh, I wanted Platinum Age All Might. Sorry, I'm only going to be dressed up as Golden Age instead. The Golden Age costume sucks. He looks like a ripoff of Captain America. That's the whole premise of my character, kid. If you don't know that, you're clearly not my true fan.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The Cyber Gomorrah suit looks pretty awesome.
It is fantastic. I especially love its much darker navy body with the light blue decals. It's kind of reminiscent of Dialga if you think about it. Yeah, but its physique is closer to that of Haxorus. Yeah, with the claws of Excadrill. So basically, take all the best Pokemon from Gen 5 and put them together and just give it a nice Dialga spray paint over it.
Pretty much.
And yeah, of course,
it's pretty swift
get the
for
Ultraman X card.
Yeah. It's pretty swift for a kaiju. It even does a thing where...
Yeah.
Or is it in a later episode where he does like a flip and his tail hits... It's the kaiju.
Yeah, I think it was this episode.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So together, X and Cyber Gomorrah work together, and they have enough power to defeat King Joe.
Yeah, and of course, we do use the Ultraman Max card.
Oh, yeah, he uses the Galaxy Cannon as the finisher.
Yep. Good thing he was there. And I'm really starting to wonder if like all these other Ultraman actors are coming back. Assuming they're not trapped in Johnny's basement. Why did Max disguise himself as his Ultra host instead of just letting it be the Ultra host? Because like it just seems like such a redundant thing unless there's a very specific reason at the end of Max that I don't know about.
There is. It's kind of a spoiler. Do you want me to say it?
May as well.
Basically, at the end of Max, they separate.
Okay, but can't they like fuse back together?
Yeah, you'd think so, but I don't know. Maybe they thought it's only one episode long. He's only here for one episode. Why explain it? But I suppose it would be nice if they did go the extra route and just have
Yeah.
like a few minute explanation of, oh, Max needs an ultra host to survive in this other world.
Mhm.
Also, we need to fuse again or something. Unite.
Yeah.
I mean, not fuse.
Yeah, and again, like it's like if it was just the Ultraman costume the entire episode, okay, I get that, but you were able to bring the actor back. You were able to bring the actor back. Like I'm wondering, like, was there like a legal thing where like they're allowed to bring the actor back, but like it's more expensive if he came back as the character he originally played, so you have to make the excuse of like, oh, the actor's back, but not as himself, like how in like in that one Star Trek / Star Wars convention that overlapped, or it's like, I heard that William Shatner will be making a cameo in Star Trek Enterprise and not as James T. Kirk. You're a bastard! You bastard! Get me at him!
I don't know, but I'm honestly doubting it.
Yeah. It's like, it's the only thing I could think of, like, because it just seems so unnecessary to bring back the human actor if you're not going to, like, use him as the original character.
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, like, even in Power Rangers, it's like, oh, yeah, Eka Darville can't take his suit off because the power of being a SAG actor prevents him from being able to breathe Earth One's atmosphere. It's not sterile enough like it is in Corinth, even though he clearly was unmorphed outside of the dome on multiple occasions.
You know, it's Power Rangers logic.
Yeah, it's Neo Saban logic.
Oh gosh, the worst kind of logic.
Yeah, the kind of logic that says, "Oh yeah, let's create an alternate timeline where dinosaurs were still alive, but it won't be visceral like Jurassic Park 6."
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'll say this: if Jurassic Park 6 did get one thing right, it's that Earth's ecosystem would be freaking messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Such a shame we had to distract from that just to spend almost the entire movie on an island. I didn't even mind the giant insects. What I did mind is we only see said insects twice in the entire film, and it's only one species. Do you know how much I've wanted to see a Megasoma in a Jurassic Park movie?
How much?
I wrote fanfics. Which, ironically, Jurassic Park 4 and 7 took elements from.
Interesting.
Yeah, because in my Jurassic Park 4 fanfic, there's a bacterial outbreak that's killing the dinosaurs. So, naturally, a bunch of human scientists have to actually show up on the island, Isla Nublar, because we already spent 2 movies in Isla Sorna, in order to investigate what is this bacteria, how can we fight it, should we fight it, have the dinosaurs met their match, and they're being homeostatically being returned to extinction. Who knows? But upon finding out, we then find out that there were scientists working on Jurassic Park in the first film, and they've been working on it for a while. If I recall, it's been 10 years to develop the island. And yeah, there was one particular scientist that was pregnant. They had a child. And when they had to abandon the island when the dinosaurs broke out, the parents got separated from their baby. And for some reason, the velociraptors, being as smart as they are, decided to, instead of eating the baby, decide to raise it as their own. So you basically have Tarzan, but raised by velociraptors instead of gorillas.
Interesting.
I even had a cool visual in mind where like the velociraptors are hunting down a T-Rex as a herd, and like this dude is like riding on top of one of the velociraptors, jumps off its back and spears the T-Rex in the ribs. Yeah, kind of like a rider kick, but with a spear.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, but they basically took some of those ideas and Jurassic Park 4 had a guy who had a team of velociraptors at his beck and call. Jurassic Park 5 had dinosaurs going extinct. Jurassic Park 6 had insects, which my fanfic would have included, but it wouldn't just be locusts, it would also be megasomas. Like, you have dragonflies the size of sedans. How could you not put that in a movie? And then Jurassic Park 7, it's like now they're going back to the whole like, oh yeah, no, there really is a bacteria that's gonna kill all the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. All 4 movies after the third one ripped off elements from my fan fiction.
You should sue them.
Yeah, I should sue them. It's a darn shame that my name is not Michael Crichton. because I do not own the intellectual property. Darn shame. Darn shame. Darn shame. But yes, so yeah, we get a team up. It's so beautiful, and we finally do defeat Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a beautiful explosion. He's just like a planking challenge. Because turns out that's all we really needed. But of course, Diet Rena Jr. decides to rebuke Diet Daigo Jr. for being like so hazardous in his behavior. So much so that Kamiki and Tachibana decide to tease him about facing consequences.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we don't have to worry about Tachibana not wanting to bring the 70s back, because the 70s is when the name Tachibana was the most famous.
Mm-hmm.
Tobei Tachibana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course it's like, yay, I'm best friends with Gomora. And everyone's like, Gomora Rangers! Yeah.
They should make a Sentai based on kaiju. I suppose we kind of got that with Ginga Man, but...
Yeah. I didn't really think of them as kaiju, but you're not wrong.
I'd say that's the closest we've gotten.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's that Godzilla and Power Rangers team-up comic book, but I'm talking more specifically about a kaiju-themed Sentai.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But my question is, would they be based on existing kaiju like from Toho or Tsuburaya, or would we make new original kaiju for that?
My guess is that they would probably make original kaiju.
Yeah.
But maybe have Red's kind of be based on Godzilla to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll say this though. If they did use Tsuburaya kaiju, I'd definitely nominate King Joe to be like the tertiary Megazord. Kind of like what's it called? Like Tetra Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, make a Tetra Boy, but based on King Joe. Even his body would split apart to become a giant cannon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Meanwhile, in episode 12, a mysterious woman named Gina summons what's it called? A Dagor, I believe it's called.
Demaga?
Demaga, yeah. I knew it was like this something. And there's a giant tremor which threatens to like unseal all the spark dolls in their little capsules. So naturally, our heroes have to go and fight it. And of course, we have an opening fight scene. But a mysterious force powers it up to give him like what's it called?
Blades.
MCU Spider-Man tendrils.
Yeah.
We got some competition.
Yeah.
For it.
So he becomes Tsurugi Demaga.
Yeah. And of course, this ends up easily mopping the floor with Ultraman. So much so that in order to save Daichi's life, X has to separate himself. And of course, everyone is witnessing like Ultraman X slowly disappear. And that's when the members of G are like, "Oh my god, Ultraman is gone." Do you think they'll name the show after me now?
No.
No, Takumi. No, Wataru. If they did, they should call it the Dr. Gourmand show. Dr. Gourmand. Dr. Gourmand. I like bruschetta. Dr. Gourmand.
So basically, not only that, Gina also has a spark doll of Zaragus, and makes so it's like we've got two kaiju at the same time that are attacking. So they get Cyber Gomera to fight against Zaragus, which is a pretty cool fight.
Yeah, and I love that we actually got Diet Rena Jr. actually controlling it by using her her communicator thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and of course, Daiji's like, Dr. Gourmand, I know what I need to do. I need to get cyberized. And of course, he's like, you fool! Do you really think you're Sam Collins? See, that wasn't me doing Malcolm. That was me doing my Yuri from Bleach. Yeah, because sometimes Gourmand does give me a little bit of the Mayuri vibes. I love Mayuri. He has one of the best speeches in the entire franchise of Bleach. You know, when he defeats Silaparos Grans and talks about perfection. You speak of perfection, but perfection is an impossibility. We as humans wish to achieve it, but ultimately we know that it is something that is completely unattainable. The moment you start speaking of perfection, you have already lost. At least, if you truly considered yourself a scientist. And, he's right. Because when you look at the equilateral triangle, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, its most perfect state is when you have 6 triangles joining together to make a hexagon. A hexagon can't do anything. It just stays 2-dimensional. But if you have less than 6 triangles, let's say 3 or 4 or 5, they can work together to grow into a 3-dimensional hedron. 3 triangles can make a tetrahedron. 4 triangles can make an octahedron. 5 triangles can make an icosahedron. And the icosahedron is one of the most beautiful 3-dimensional objects in the known universe.
I see.
So much so that humanity has created a board game centered completely around the icosahedron. Dungeons and Dragons. Yes.
Yeah.
It is the most beautiful and imperfect 3-dimensional object there is. But when you have a 6th triangle, all you will ever know, all you will ever be, is a simple hexagon. you will never achieve the next dimension of existence.
So, anyways, Daichi goes into the cyberverse, or the digital world, or Mega Man's digital world. Basically, because Mega Man X not Mega Man X, Ultraman X. I'm getting Mega Man and Ultraman
Power Network 5, Double Team Gomorrah.
Yeah. So basically, he's trying to get Ultraman X, not Mega Man, Ultraman X's data back, and he finds a digital rainbow. And because he remembers something that his parents said about rainbows when he was really young, and is able to get his data back, and he gets his final form, Exceed X.
Wait, that's his final form? I know that's his power-up form, but like that's also his final form?
For the show, at least.
Yada yada. Like, geez, imagine if O's got Puto Tira in only like episode 12.
Well, this is a short Ultraman series.
Yeah, okay, so let's double it and say episode 24.
Like Kiva?
Yeah, to be fair, Kiva did that, but it was more for utility purposes because his base form is harder to fight in than his final form.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also we complete an arc, so it works.
Yeah. But he does get a movie exclusive form in the movie, which takes place after the series finale. But we'll get to that.
Yes, the one where Johnny's godson becomes Tiga.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow in a sea of cubes, I got a generic blade used by almost every Ultra. No, seriously, like how many Ultramen have a blade weapon just like that? Arc certainly does.
A few.
Yeah. But I will say this, hey, at least when you make the toy by Bandai, it will stay to scale.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of like when Kamen Rider has a sword, it's like, oh, the hilt will be to scale, but the blade will be tiny. Tiny blade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, when I got... actually, give me a second. Thankfully, when I got Soundblade Suzune, I was actually able to get the Bandai Premium Extender.
Oh, nice.
It took forever to replace the blade, but now it actually feels like a Roman Gladius because of its size.
Nice.
And it looks like a proper rifle when you switch to gun mode. One downside is that you have this like really long, like lack of color, but so the two speakers, sadly doesn't scale up like it should. But hey, yep,
that's awesome.
Shh. Yeah. Can't remember if Leo got the extender for his Buster Sword. Because I remember he and I were supposed to be
Slash and Buster?
Yeah, Slash and Buster, yeah. Like with the full size swords, because we were best friends, dude. But you sold out to that traitor from the north. No, the South was the traitor the whole time. Rintaro, you dummy, being used. But not as dumb as Ren. No one likes Ren.
My friend Riley hates Ren with a passion.
Yeah. Oh man, if you want to have a good laugh, you rewatch our review of episode 35. like us going into Ren, us going into Kento, and yes, us going into the that infinite staircase from Mario 64
Yeah.
from Saber.
Yep.
I love how someone like edited the footage that like he's running on Rainbow Road.
Yep.
That was the funniest thing ever. Alrighty. But yeah.
But anyways, we get Exceed X, and he's able to defeat Tsurugi Demaga.
Yes. Meanwhile, we do get Diet Rena trying to fight against Gina, and goes about as well as you would expect it to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Of course, Gina's upset that she lost the fight, and one of her ultras was defeated by a freaking saber, whatchamacallit. And so, of course, she retreats. But the thing is, and of course, Diet Rana gives Diet Daigo a big hug.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shouldn't Diet Daigo be Kengo from Ultraman Trigger?
You'd think, but come on, like you could tell that like these two characters are ripped off from Daigo and Rena.
I suppose, but some people I know have called Trigger Diet Tiga. So
I mean, it's supposed to be. Well, I would call it Tiga Zero.
I guess so.
Which has 0 calories, but all of that Snoop Dogg taste. Don't forget that Snoop Dogg was a spokesperson for Pepsi Max. Yeah, man. But it's funny. Pepsi Max actually tasted better than Coke Zero, but they shot themselves in the foot by making Pepsi Next, and that tasted like garbage.
I see.
So we all went back to Coke Zero, never went back to Pepsi. Then Pepsi tried to be like, "Oh, we made a Pepsi Zero," and we're like, "Nah, man, nah, fam. Like, you screwed up. You screwed up. You had something good going for you, and then it's like when Forrest Gump made the new Pepsi, the new Coca-Cola formula, and then everyone got upset, so they went back to Coke Classic." Yeah, I bet y'all did not know that that the new Coca-Cola, the one that everyone hated, was actually Forrest Gump's fault. Yeah, because the book had a sequel, and in that sequel, Forrest accidentally added some stuff to the Coca-Cola formula that made it taste better, but he didn't know what he did. So he just like improved, and then it ended up tasting like garbage.
Interesting.
And that's how it happened. At least in the book. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Forrest Gump 2 was not a good book, at least in my opinion. It was not good. It's like if there was one thing that really like made it jump the shark, nuke the fridge, control alt delete the kaiju, it's Forrest would see the ghost of Jenny. God damn it. Like, why? It's like, I appreciate that the ghost told him, Forrest, you gotta move on. Get yourself a new girlfriend. But I wish he would do that about a decade earlier, or 2 or 3, back when Jenny was still alive. He didn't get her coof. Well, not her coof, her clap. And yeah, because I'm pretty sure those 2 girls who are for the streets would be less abusive towards Forrest than Jenny would. They were not good women, but they were not worse than Jenny. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we get a 2-parter.
Yeah. I almost thought this was going to be a 3-parter. By which I mean episodes 12 through 14. But no. It's just like, oh, no, let's introduce this character briefly. But not to make this one episode correlate to the other 2, which are more tied together. Yeah. It's like, if you've ever watched that crossover, That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana, it's like Hannah Montana is barely even part of the actual crossover itself. It's like part 1, that's a Raven. It's like, oh, she has to be in charge of a photo shoot that takes place in the hotel where the Sweet Life takes place. But because of an accident, like she kind of has to like team up with the twins in order to replace the models who are still in Milan. So it's like, okay, so we have a proper crossover between these 2 shows. And then part 2, she missed a plane, so she's still stuck in the hotel. But it's like, oh, we have a B plot where Raven is still directly involved in the plot. And Hannah Montana barely makes a cameo in the last 2 minutes of the entire episode. Last 2 minutes of the entire episode. And then part 3, which is completely focused on Hannah Montana, it's like we get a brief cameo from Ashley Tisdale, and then it's just a regular episode of Hannah Montana for the rest of the episode. It's like, why was this even here?
Yeah.
It's like that's what episode 12 feels like in regards to episodes 13 and 14. It's like we didn't really need episode 12. It's just there to like connect to the other 2 episodes via fan service, but you don't really need it.
I guess not.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's another. You know that 3-part episode with the Thunder Brothers from Ninja Storm?
Yeah.
Imagine if that 3-part episode happened immediately after episode 2. Immediately after episode 2. Not have episode 3 with the fake Tori. No, go from Power of 3 straight to Lubin Thunder and call it a 4-part episode, even though part 1 features the Thunder Brothers for only like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
that's how it feels. So episode 13 starts off with another dimension where Ultraman Victory, hey, I remember you from Ultraman Rube.
Oh yeah, because they use the Victory Crystal. Yes,
to use the Earth form.
Yes.
Because he's subterranean. He's a lizard person. He's Saul of the Mole Man. Yeah, and of course, what's really interesting, as you know, I've never seen Ginga S. I've only seen like the first 3 episodes of Ginga. So at that point, the main character from Ginga was still just like a kid returning to his hometown from being far away. And it's him and his 2 friends just hanging out, where like the female friend is like a temple priestess, and he meets a spark doll of Ultraman Taro, and like, oh yeah, like you're gonna turn into Ultraman Ginga. Yeah, he wasn't a member of an organization in those first 3 episodes, so
yeah, he becomes a member of an organization in Ginga S.
Yeah, so like that part's kind of confusing. And I'm gonna guess that Victory is also exclusive to Ginga S.
Yeah, he's basically the secondary Ultraman.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, instead of calling it Ginga S, you should just call it Ultraman Victory.
Well, he did get his own spin-off of Ultra Fight Victory, which this episode references.
Yeah, so Victory's fighting this giant dude who turns out to be one of 2 brothers of Gina, because apparently there's like a dude that Victory defeated.
Yeah, Judo
And
Spectre.
yes, and somehow his two siblings were revived. One of which was Gina, and the other one who looks like looks like that one dude from Bloodstained Ritual of the Night that gets you the heretic grinder.
Yeah, his name is Mold Spectre. Okay,
Yeah.
Mold? Really? So all we have to do is just spray bleach on this guy and that'll defeat him?
Apparently so. Tetsuga Tensho, mother. But somehow the fight sends Victory, Ginga, and the female protagonist through the portal. Again, it's been 5 years since I've watched those 3 episodes, so of course I'm not going to remember the name of the female protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they go there, they meet Shio, and then of course there's a bit of a misunderstanding with with Daichi and Sho. Sho's got this thing that's
oh yeah, you're subterranean. I am from the surface of Earth.
No,
I am your friend.
No, you idiots! This thing's covering my mouth.
Yeah. Why is that thing covering his mouth?
So he can't speak, apparently, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they get it off eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's his SAG status trying to prevent him from being able to show his face on the show.
I don't know. I mean, he shows his face on the show for the rest of the episode and the next episode. So I suppose they put that on his mouth just to keep him quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, if only Eka Darville had one of those things instead of his actual Ranger helmet. I'm not hating on Eka, by the way. I'm hating on the person that wrote Clash of the Red Rangers.
Yeah.
It's like, at that point, why even make Clash of the Red Rangers? And also, why leave out the other RPM Rangers?
I don't know, man.
Why not just use stock footage and stock audio of the other Rangers? You know, just use, like, have them also be unmorphed, have them show up at the last minute in their Ranger suits, in their cockpits when they do the G23 thing.
Yeah.
Shikano G23. Because that's a thing, apparently. And then just, like, murderate the dude. See that's a pacifier reference with Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Yeah, but they eventually get the mouth thing off of him, and it's like, oh, you're Ultraman Victory. And so then both X and Victory team up together.
Yeah, and which is good because Gina hires these 2 mercenaries, one of which looks like a lion bat monkey thing, and another looks like an
alien magma.
Yeah, and the other looks like something straight out of a Super Metroid.
Yeah, they're, as you can probably tell, they're both Showa aliens.
Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, and meanwhile, Victory is like, I saw the way you used your rainbow sword. You suck at it. I've seen other.
Well, to be fair, he just got it. He just got it last episode.
Yeah. It's like, what do you think this is? Super Sentai, where like as soon as you get a new weapon, you're immediately an expert on it. Meanwhile, freaking Heretic Grinder is like mopping the floor with X, even with his rainbow form. And yeah, it's like, I'm gonna teach you, but I'm just gonna let you know, I'm not a pushover like Zero. I'm like, okay, way to besmirch Zero. I don't know Zero very well, but goddamn, like the Zero hate is real.
What did Zero ever do to you, Victory?
Well, apparently he disappeared for 100 years, went into exile, and then like an evil clone of him shows up in the form of a giant. and then like he thwarts a giant satellite from destroying Earth. So then he turns into like a digi-egg essentially. That bastard Zero turning into a digi-egg. That's a Mega Man CX reference, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the training goes about as well as you think it does. And it's like, oh, you gotta measure my breathing. And yes, the blatant green screen is so blatant. It's like, geez, it's like watching Tim Curry lecture a teenager with a computer fetish. So can you
More Samurai
imagine it?
Cyber Squad.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if the dialogue was actually dubbed by Tim Curry? Which, let's be honest, have you ever heard Tim Curry do the narration for? If you've ever heard Tim Curry like do the narration for Series of Unfortunate Events, he is amazing.
I see.
Yeah, like he's like the perfect voice actor for Series of Unfortunate Events. Yeah. How are we gonna fight Count Olaf? I don't know. Hello, I'm Count Olaf. Hello, hello, hello. I swear, like like if Series of Unfortunate Events exists in the 80s, Tim Curry should have played Olaf. But with that said, I'm sad that the Jim Carrey movie did not get any sequels because I really want to see Jim Carrey do his own rendition of Inspector Dupin. The next phase of the plan is underway. What do you mean? We're gathering the Gua army from across the universe to this planet and let them all bathe in my energy. Yes, KiloCon, and don't call me KiloCon. I'm now Super Kamiguru KiloCon. Yeah. Call me.
Oh yeah, and Ginga shows up at the last
Etacon.
moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, they do have a fight sequence. You know, the two female leads fight against Gina while the two Ultramen fight against freaking the Heretic Grinder and the giant bat monkey lion dude. And then out of nowhere, yes, we get a giant meteor shower, but this time not caused by freaking Rita Repulsa from 5-Man, but rather by Ultraman Ginga.
Gone, Ginga. Wait, wrong Ginga.
Gone, Ginga, Ultraman Ginga. Ultraman Ginga Man. Ginga, comma, man. Just to be clear. Ultraman Ginga dude. He's got the power of spark dolls. He will team up with Taro to defeat the kaiju. Kaiju Sentai. Wait, I already messed up. Ultra Ginga Man Ultra. Yeah. Okay, moving right along to episode 14 and the final episode of the night. Really not much to say. It's continuation, except this time we actually get, the Ultra host actually show up for more than 2 seconds of screen time.
Yeah, Hikaru from Ginga shows up.
Yeah.
So we get not 1, not 2, but 3 Ultras for the price of 1.
Yes. Okay, because of the way it was marketing it. May as well bring it back. X. Kinga. Victory. Yeah, you happy?
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. But yeah. But yeah, the shining sky is shining so brightly. Blind the sky. Yeah. But Heretic Grinder is actually holding its own pretty well against 3 freaking ultras.
Mm-hmm.
3 freaking ultras holding its own. Very impressive. But yeah, like Victory has blue form. So now all 3 ultras have the same 3 color palette. But of course, he decides to escape, and the 3. So then the 3 of them, they seal up the portal to the other side, which allows them to stall for time. It's like, wait, you're also human? Yes. And you're an Ultraman. Well, I'm kind of bonded with an Ultraman. Oh my god, that means these humans are friends with Ultraman. Oh, they're not the only Ultraman I'm friends with. We're friends with all the Ultramen. Really? Yes. And we're also friends with Kaiju. Oh my god, tell me more. It's like,
well, you see, there's Ultraman Cosmos, who believes that humanity can live in peace and harmony with kaiju. And there's also Ultra 7, who's got capsule monsters, which those capsule monsters actually inspired Pokemon.
Yep. While V-Pets inspired Digimon. Just to make sure that we can tell the difference between a Pokemon and a Digimon.
Yes.
I'm surprised Monster Rancher wasn't called Ranchermon. But yeah, that was something. So yeah, we get some collab work, and of course when Giant Kaiju attacks, of course, Rana Jr. uses her Cyber Gomora, which I think is against an actual Black Gomora or something like
that. No,
Mecha
Gomora. So yeah, that's actually awesome to see Mecha Gomora take on Cyber Gomora.
Because it's like having Mecha Godzilla go up against Cyber Godzilla.
I wonder what Cyber Godzilla would look like.
I know exactly what Cyber Godzilla would look like. Rizeros.
Ah, yes. Yes, have Mecha Godzilla fight Rizeros.
Yeah.
I still want the Justerizer Mecha toys.
Yeah. I wish I had those too. I also wish I had the toys from the first series, just because it's like
Grand Caesar.
Because in Grand Caesar it's like you got 12 constellations, and then they combine into 4 animals, which combine into 4 giants. And if I recall, the giants combine too.
Yeah, they become Die Caesar. Which I actually did find a Die Caesar with the box for $300 at a con. I wanted it, but I didn't want to spend that much on it.
Die Caesar is like a mecha collector's wet dream right there. It's like the more versatility, the better. It's like, I know that Megatron from Carobot has been like advertised. It's like, oh, it's 6 forms in 1. But the thing is, it's like, there's only so much you can do with those 6 forms. But then when he becomes Galvatron, it's like he's got 10 forms in 1, which are basically the same 6 forms, just with a few slight changes. So it's not like they added anything to him. You could still get the same 10 forms using the original Megatron. Just he's white now. Which, to be fair, I like the new color scheme, but still.
No.
Yeah, and yes, Homegirl from Ginga S also gets to use the Ultra Gun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. But yeah, so when worse comes to worse, freaking Heretic Grinder absorbs both his brother and his sister to become 2 faces of his sword. And I'm like, so is this what Kira Major ripped off?
Maybe.
Because you got the whole whoosh, and then you become one person, and then you become Yodana, and then when you take both of them off, it's like, oh, you're still what's his name, Yoden.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, what is even the point? But yeah, we got X using
Exceed X.
Cool. and then Exceed X. And of course, we got
Ginga Victory.
using his final form.
Yeah, to where he fuses with Victory.
Yep. And that is just beautiful. That form looks so freaking beautiful.
It is a good suit.
Yeah, and he has like a rotary thing that lets him use the power of Gaia.
Oh yeah, he uses Gaia's Photon Edge, and then he uses Dinah's Solgent Beam, and then he uses Tiga's Zaparian Beam.
Yep. And you will never revive again. So of course he goes the full Chi-Chi finisher from Budokai Tenkaichi 3. X-Slugger shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. And yes, the Siberian Beam. So fun. Yes, maybe that is the key to destroying Johnny's basement.
Yes.
Yeah, we get slow-mo. Yay! And of course, our three heroes from the previous season have to go back to their dimension because we get that vest back from Zero's episode. And that's pretty much it. That's it.
That's it for tonight.
That's it for tonight. That's all we got. All right. Thoughts on these episodes?
Well, let's see. I definitely enjoyed the King Joe episode. It had some good fight choreography. It was cool to see King Joe again. I give that episode a 9 out of 10. The episode after that, 8.5. And then after that, a 9.5 for episode 13. And then for episode 14, give it a 10 out of 10. It was cool to see Cyber Gomora take on Mecha Gomora and have all three Ultramen team up with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I would say episode 11 was pretty decent. I give it a 9, because like here it's like we kind of complete the whole story arc of him trying to bond with Gomora. But I feel like they should have fleshed it out more. Like maybe this should have been stretched to a 2-parter. But let's see, episode 12. I don't know. As much as I like King Joe, and believe me, I love King Joe. Episode 12. I feel like they should have done more with Gina. But yeah, no, it's like he got his new final form. But the thing is, I feel like at that point they should have held off his his Exceed form for episode 14. Like have his experience of teaming up with Victory and
Ginga
be the driving force to him achieving that form. Like you could have like the Rainbow Blade in episode 12, but not obtain the Exceed form until episode 14, because as if to say, yeah, you have the weapon, but you don't know how to use it properly yet. But then after they train him to use it properly, then he gets his form.
I can see that.
Yeah. As for episode 13, it was okay. I'd give it an 8. It's like, it's cool to see the cast of Ginga come back. Of course, I can't say it's nice in the context of like, oh, I already watched Ginga and Ginga S, so like I actually see them back. No. In the case of Victory, this is the first time I'm actually seeing him outside the context of, oh, he's a Rube Crystal. But yeah. So I don't feel too much of an attachment to these characters. But, it does make me want to see what Gina has to offer to the plot besides turning into a sword. But with that said, I do like that in episode 14, we actually do see the three main characters working together for a change. And I feel like this episode could have been a 10 if they'd done it differently. And again, a lot of it stems from Exceed Form showing up in episode 12 instead of 14. But, I feel like they should have done more with Gina, for one. Because they really hyped her up like she's gonna be like a real threat, not just someone to trifle with for 3 episodes. Like Tsurugi from Rube. Like she was the main villain for
the second half.
Yeah, the entire second half. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's wasted potential there. I don't know what the last 8 episodes have to offer in this season, but here's hoping that they have the means to improve from here. But yes, so we finished the first half of the series, even though it's 22 episodes, therefore we're 3 episodes above the half number of episodes. But yeah, no, this is where the first arc clearly ends.
Yeah.
So yeah. I give it an 8 for episode 14, but I'm pretty sure it could have been a 10 if episodes 12 through 14 were handled just a little bit differently. All right, let us know what you guys thought about these episodes. Triple OXYZ says Cyber Gomorrah had an amazing design. Yes,
that he did.
Yeah. I wish I could properly see all the cyber kaiju in their true cyber forms.
That would be cool.
Yeah, especially Ella King, because I like Ella King's form.
Yeah, Cyber Ella King would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Gundillo did not become a cyber kaiju. I liked Gundillo. Way cooler than Dreamadillo. Why is that thing covering his mouth? Like we said, it's to keep Sag from coming after Tsuburaya.
Or just to keep him quiet.
Yeah. King Joe was great.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You should see how he is in Ultra 7.
Yeah. Now King Joe definitely should have been a Mega Man boss.
Which Mega Man?
I don't know. Wait, actually, you know what? There is a character like that. It's I forgot his name. The Minotaur dude from 04.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the Einajar. There's a magnetic Minotaur dude who splits his body apart.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just realized. Yeah, that dude was basically King Joe in this episode. I feel like Gina should have appeared in more episodes. Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. You know what her costume design reminds me of? Keka Glacia from Go Onger.
I can kind of see that.
Like she's got the color scheme and the hair. Yeah, but thankfully, she's not trying to go after a very concerning age gap. Yeah, she's like what, like in her 30s and going after a 19-year-old delivery boy.
Oh my.
It's like, okay, I get it. We watched Futurama, but still. I love you guys making all the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad references. Can you blame us, though? It writes itself.
It really does.
Yeah.
I really need to check out Gridman. I've got the Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, maybe eventually we will. And yeah, like who knows? Maybe depending on how the next few episodes play out, maybe it will make a Mystic Knights of Tirnanog reference.
Maybe. Tune in.
I swear, if they had a 6th night, I would have them say shadows behind me. Because think about it. Fire within me, meaning inside. Water around me, which is outside. Air above me, which is up. Earth beneath me, which is down. Force before me, which is in front of. So, which orientation is missing? Behind! What natural element is most likely to appear behind a person? Darkness. So, shadows behind me. Besides, as we established in Digimon Frontier, darkness doesn't have to be evil. And corroborated by Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 2. Yeah. Can't believe there's a white hole. A white hole.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a hole. And there's light coming from it. And it's spreading. You sure that's just not a supernova? Sure, it's not just a simple supernova. You got hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, all the way up to iron being produced by this massive spectacle. Kind of makes you wonder how all the elements after iron were made.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only so much atomic fusion that can occur. But yeah, that's it for the comments, guys. If you enjoyed us rambling about Mega Man Battle Network, Superhuman Cyber Squad, and pretty much everything else under the hot sun, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon, stay notified for our latest videos, and be sure to share our videos because it helps us out with the algorithm. We finally made it to 2.75 followers on YouTube, which means that we will be doing that 2BTV Power Rangers Parody 7. Either this or next weekend. And on top of that, be sure to check out our regular content. We got Ultraman X on Mondays. Kamen Rider X on Sundays. We begin and end the week with an X. Kamen Rider Gone on Wednesdays. And on this Thursday, we will be discussing the final episode of Bakugan Sentai. Boom! Boom, boom! Boom, 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 jur!
Boom, boom! Boom, boom, boom!
And, of course, that also means that starting next week, our Thursdays will involve discussing the 50th anniversary season, 49th season, number 1 Sentai, Go Juja.
Go Juja.
Yeah, which is supposed to be the final battle in Sentai history.
Sure it is.
At least it's advertised as such, but they'll just decade themselves back into existence, let's be honest. Maybe they'll even make a 50th season where they reboot the series.
Shingo Ranger.
Yeah, Shingo Ranger. There you go. It'll be a play on words. Yeah, I mean, just look at Zen Kaiser. He's literally Aka Ranger in big one colors.
Close. He's actually based on Go Rangers Vari Doreen.
But yeah, Himitsu Power. Anyways, also be sure to check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, and please be sure to follow our personal content.
You can find me at youtube.com Axel Ranger, where I'm making new content again.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. And with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update emergency kits, hug your loved ones. Enjoy your President's Day weekend, the upcoming. We will still be doing Ultraman X, by the way. But we will do it chilly because, that extra day of rest for the red, white, and blue. And we will see you guys next time. Goodbye. By the way, red, white, and blue are ultra colors. Keep that in mind.
That they are.
The patriotic, the most patriotic Japanese superhero of America. Have a good one. Bye.